Friends, good morning. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic. My name is Mike Avery here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. As always, so glad to have you along with me on what is a snowy morning here in my part of the world. Good morning, Orange Steel. How are you? Air Reinhardt Realtors. John. Ozy Loaded Gun Shop. I like that one. Hey, Craig, good morning. How are you, buddy? K and B Menzel 25 got a good crew coming at us over on Instagram this morning. Appreciate it. CMU Bass Fishing. Good morning, John. How are you? Snowing in Lupton. Craig's trying to put down a doe at the end of the. Hey, Chris, I have a question for you. Chris Beebe from Kansas. My son James says that the Beebe family is a very well-known hardcore whitetail hunting family in Kansas. Are you part of that group? Good morning, Doug. How are you? Johnny Bowler. Johnny says, good morning, Mike. What day is it? Mike. What day is it? It's hump day. Good morning. Happy New Year to you, Ross. Jerry, good morning. Jim Ward, Jim Hassel, Rob, Bernie. Bernie, you can put off plowing snow till springtime. It won't matter. KNSJ Shell checking in from the Yoop. How are things in the Yoop this morning? Put down a doe with a broken foot. Jerky on the way. I'm still waiting to hear from you, Chris. John, I'm excited for the Novi show as well. Anyway, my name is Mike Avery. One day closer to spring, and Tim, one day closer to you guys getting the keys to the house, to the Ponderosa. Not much time today. I have to go out and clean off cars and plow the lot. Ross, you have people. You have people who can do that for you. Light drizzle in Texas, really missing the snow. Fort Lauderdale. Wow. That'd be a good place to be. I'm still waiting to hear from you, Chris. Joe checking in from Fort Lauderdale. When is the Novi show? It's the next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. Good morning, Michelle. How are you? Friday, you're getting the keys. Okay. I'm here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. John says it is January 6th through the 9th. Oh, well, that shoots that. No pun intended. Chris says, well, that could be, but I was born and raised in Michigan. Johnny, have to get back out and road and put some salt down and plow them. All right, be careful. Jim, you're late to the party. Jim says, Mike, what day is it? What day is it? It's hump day, which means I'm here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio to record this week's Outdoor Magazine show, which airs on 32 stations across the great state of Michigan. Good morning, Lori. How are you? Basser 1957. Basser, does that mean you were born in 1957? If so, you're an old guy like me. Wreck Broadheads. Matt Taggett, how are you? Good morning. One of my favorite broadheads, family-owned, Michigan-based. REK, Wreck Broadheads. They will be down at the ATA show coming up here next week. I'm not going to the ATA show. Because I don't have to go there and sell product like Wreck Broadheads does or Dart and Archery or something. I've lost faith in the ATA show. They want to charge me $600 as a media person to come down there and walk around and promote the show. I'm not going to do it. No, thank you. BG David 1 joined over on Instagram. How are you? Nate, good morning. How have you been? Jeff, good morning. Chris says he's going to look into it now. So what's going on? Happy New Year to you. We made it through Christmas. How was your Christmas, by the way? Ours was very, very busy. 3 days, Dreaming in White 2. Good morning. How are you? 3 days of Christmas parties. The last one ended at a Christmas party at the in-laws with 43 people there. Good morning. Big David 1. Well, they call me Big Mike, so we have something in common. Even smaller than I used to be. I'm still a pretty good sized guy. 600 is a big bag of hunter sticks. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, what they're trying to do, ATA, is the ATA show is no longer used to unveil new bows. Those have all been done online for weeks now, if not months. And so they're trying to prove that they're still a viable entity and they're still a player in the industry. And I don't think they're going to make it. Certainly not going to make it by charging media people $600 to walk in the door. That show used to be free to me. I could walk in the door and get a free media pass and walk around and report on what I was seeing. Of course, I still had to get down there. I still had to pay the hotel bill while I was there. So it wasn't a free trip. But $600 to promote your show? You should be paying me, ATA, to promote your show. Bernie says the holidays are bad for him. Gained 10 pounds. Good morning, Brent. How are you, buddy? Now, Brent, you're going to Ohio with us next year, banning any COVID outbreaks, right? Pigeon Stacy. That's a cool name, Pigeon Stacy. How are you? Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show, which is why I'm here in the studio. Oh, by the way, people say, why do you have two mics in front of you? I have a social media mic. I have a broadcast mic. And then over here, I've got a lavalier mic that I'm feeding my Instagram feed with. Craig says, ATA or a bear hunt? I'll get my Michigan bear tag this year. I will be hunting with Johnny Bowler. I'm hoping to hunt in Quebec this spring. I have an offer to go to Michigan State Parks. Michigan State Parks. Well, thanks for joining us on Instagram. Love Michigan State Parks. Celebrated what? What was you guys just celebrating? 100-year anniversary? I have, if I don't get to go to Quebec, I have an offer to go to Saskatchewan for a springtime bear hunt, but that's a long, long drive. And it's right about late Memorial Day. I don't know. Of course, so is a Quebec hunt. Anyway, Happy New Year to you. I did not get back out. And I know I still have 2 more days, but I'm not going to make it back out. Michelle's hoping to bear hunt with Johnny, too. I did not make it back out to shoot a doe with my dart and crossbow before the season ended. There's just too many other things going on. And I'm not in love with deer hunting like I am turkey hunting or bear hunting enough to put work-related things aside. Hunt, fish, shoot, 91. How are you? Not that I've heard, Jim. Jim said that they closed the Canadian border again. Ross, I think Ross is gone by now. Not that I've heard. I would put aside work-related projects for a bear hunt or a turkey hunt, but deer. Mad Jack says he's not going to make it out either. The only thing I regret about not making it out is I never did get a chance to put one of those wrecked broadheads through a whitetail. I've learned my lesson. This year, I passed on several big does early in the season that I just should have shot. I don't know why I was waiting. November Rut 1, how are you on Instagram? I just should have taken him. But I did put a wreck through a bear, and it was pretty devastating. Now I'm looking forward to putting a wreck through turkey. Love turkey hunting. Hey, by the way, you still have time. Hey, Gus, good morning. You still have time, Rich, good morning to you, to put in for your Pure Michigan hunt. If you live in the great state of Michigan, you have till just about the end of the U of M game on Friday night to apply for a Pure Michigan hunt. I have several applications in, and I will put a few more in, too, because I want that Michigan Bull Elk tag, and I want that any season bear tag. You can apply at any licensed agent or go online to michigan.gov/DNR. D.W. Baldwin, how are you? I used to know a guy, and I don't think it's you, D.W. Baldwin, Dana Baldwin. I went to school with at Ferris many, many years ago. That's not you, is it, Dana? It'd be cool if it was, and if it's not D.W. Baldwin, it's cool to have you along with us. I appreciate it. So 2022, right? What are we going to do in 2022? Number one is we're going to not let COVID run our lives. We're going to all try to stay healthy. And I'm not poo-pooing COVID. I've lost friends to COVID this year, including Nick Percy. Speaking of losing people, condolences to Chris Durson. Condolences and prayers to his family. Chris Durson of Rapid River Knives lost his dad Monday of this week. So having gone through that situation myself, I know how tough it can be. So, Chris, we're thinking about you. 2022, what does that mean? Does it mean resolutions? Not in my mind, because resolutions are made to be broken. What I do is I set some goals. Number one, for 2022, I want to shoot a Michigan deer. I haven't shot a Michigan deer in years. Want to shoot a Michigan deer. Sounds good to me, Pat. Also, want to shoot a Michigan bear. I've shot plenty of bears. I think I've shot, 14, 15 bears now. But never one in Michigan. There's something wrong with that. I'm going to fix that this year. I've had an opportunity to shoot 2 Michigan bears, one with Gary Morgan at Wild Game Dynasty and one with Johnny Bowler. The one with Wild Game Dynasty came out 10 minutes into the first day of the hunt, and I didn't want to end my hunt, so I let it go. The one with Johnny Bowler, actually, I didn't have a chance to shoot that one. He came out in front of me, but I was hunting with a recurve and just couldn't pull off the shot. That's going to change this year because I'll be out there with a crossbow this year. Want to take a Michigan turkey? I've taken a bunch of them. Want to take another one? Rich says 2022, hopefully better than 2021. Yeah, I hope so too. And we hope that 2021 was going to be better than 2020. And look how it ended up. Ian MC18, good morning. How are you? Brandon Owen 19, good morning. How are you? Nice to have you with us over on Instagram. I don't do as much live on Instagram as I do Facebook and YouTube and Twitter because the streaming platform that I use called StreamYard, a Michigan Wolf. Yeah, that would be great. Instagram doesn't like to play well with other streaming platforms, and they will not talk to the folks at StreamYard. So whenever I go live to Instagram, it means setting up my phone and streaming directly to Instagram, where I can use my iPad and stream to 3 or 4 other platforms. So that's why I don't go live to Instagram as much. It's not that I'm poo-pooing Instagram. In fact, I'd like to grow my Instagram presence as much as I can. I'd like to hit 10,000. I'm at 8,060 right now, whereas over on Facebook, I've got 80,000. Chad checking in from Baptist Lake. Good morning, Chad. How are you? A Michigan Wolf. Yeah. I've shot a wolf now. I shot one in Ontario, the most challenging hunt I've ever been on. I'm not sure I feel the need to shoot another one. It's a beautiful mount. I have the memories of it. I had a great story out of it for the TV show. But it's like Africa. I've been to Africa twice. I really don't see a need to go back there a third time. It's like once you've been there and experienced it, you've done it. Joe, good morning, Mike. Guided bear hunt or do it on your own? Mine would be guided, John. I would go with Johnny Bowler. And his aren't really, are they guided or not? What Johnny does is he's got some great, and this is the same way with Gary Morgan. They've got access to some great property, and then they go up there early and they run the baits. It's hard for a downstate person to get an active bait going and then keep it baited enough to be sure that it is active when the season comes up. That's why having a local guy up there or a full-time guide, and I say guide loosely because they don't sit over your shoulder. They're not out there in the blind with you. They're not telling you to shoot. Lori says, unless it's catfish noodling, then you have to do it every year. And Lori would know because she's braver than I, because I'm not reaching into that muddy, brown, warm water, intentionally putting my hand into the mouth of a catfish. I'm not going to do it. Good morning, John. How are you? Nice to have you along with us on this edition of Behind the Mic. So it's Mike behind the mic. No ATA show, although we're going to talk about the ATA show on this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show with Dave Thomas. He's my first guest this week, Dave Thomas of Bowhunter Planet, bowhunterplanet.com. Then Nick Buja of the Michigan Wildlife Council. Nick talks about license sales in Michigan. They're trending up, even though they're down from last year a little bit. But last year, the COVID numbers were record numbers. There's always a lot of room for improvement, but we're doing all right. Jason, and I got to remember, forgive me, Jason. I don't remember if it's Jason Michalski or Michalski. He's with Dark House Anglers Association, the pike spearing people. He will join me in hour number 2 along with Nick Green. And then in hour number 3, Dave Mull checks in. Dave is steelhead fishing on the St. Joe River this morning. We're going to talk about kayak fishing. We're going to talk about his seminars coming up at the Ultimate Fishing Show in Novi, the 6th through the 9th. John Callison tells me. Also, big news, our Wednesday night lives. If you are a regular here, you know what Wednesday night live is. And it's something I do every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Flory Hamps. Where do these Instagram names come from? Flory Hamps. Nice to have you along with us. Or as Pat Johnston calls it, Instaface. What coach called it that? It was some Big Ten coach. Yeah, see, now I planted the seed in his brain, and it's a brain worm now. He's not going to let it go away till he figures out what it was. It wasn't Harbaugh. Wednesday night lives. We're going to be live at the Lumberjack Restaurant. Okay. The first Wednesday in March, the first Wednesday in June, the first Wednesday in September, and the first Wednesday in December. If you live in Michigan, or if you want to make a long drive, if you don't, I would encourage you to join us for those. If you've ever been with us on a Wednesday night live in person, you know how much fun they can be and how we give away a fair number of prizes, and there's always a good meal involved. We started out doing those at Wild Game Chef Extraordinaire Dave Miner's Oscar and Joey's Restaurant. Dave, right now, how many bowl games am I watching this weekend? Only one. I'm just watching Michigan. Mark, good morning, beautiful Linwood. Are you on the water? Hey, Mark. No, you're not, because you're recovering from your knee replacement. How did that go? I bet you're feeling better already, aren't you? And remind me, do you have to do both of them or just the one? Captain Mark Pananzak of Real Fishing. I think it's realfishing.com or realfishingcharters.com. And as far as I know, they're still on Saginaw Bay, aren't they, Mark? Probably for not much longer, but they're still out there. And a reminder, too, on promo codes. If you want to save some money on a Primal Tree Stand, a ground blind, a Wraith 270 see-through blind, the Breeze blind, primaltreestands.com, primaltreestands.com. Use the promo code Avery. Go to michiganbrand.net for some Michigan brand products. Use the promo code Mike21 and mucc.org to get a discount on your membership with the promo code Mike, M-I-K-E. All caps. We are recording the first Primal podcast today. I'm adding a Primal podcast to the Outdoor Magazine Podcast Network. It's a podcast that will be based around Primal Tree Stands and Ground Blinds, that the company it is. But we're going to talk about deer hunting, turkey hunting, elk hunting, ground blind hunting. Pretty well, Mike. So far, so good. Good, Mark. Glad to hear that. And it's interesting, Mark, on those knee replacements. Some people find them excruciatingly painful, and others have no pain. I had my last one I had done. There was, honest to goodness, there was no pain. It was freaky. The doc he's like, Avery, you're going to start to hurt. I'm like, Doc, I'm not hurting. He says, you're going to start to hurt. It's like, I never felt any pain. Maybe it's just, maybe my brain is too stupid to feel pain. I don't know, but I never felt any pain with the knee replacements. But I sure felt a lot better afterwards. Primal Tree Stand, that will be available. I will have that uploaded probably by the weekend. Not probably. I'll have it uploaded probably tomorrow. I get a kick out of these people who record their podcasts and then they take a week to edit them. If it takes me more than a half hour to edit a half-hour podcast, I'm doing something wrong. But I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Tony. Tony Sobey, one of my best friends in the world. Tony, I miss you guys desperately. Good morning, my Angler Quest Walleye Slayer friend. Hope you had a great Christmas, praying for a much better 22. We need to get together very soon. Way overdue. Some pain with his two knees like you, a little to none. Tony. One of the most interesting and fun guys you'll ever meet, Tony Sobey. Spent many years in law enforcement. Ended up his career, hope I'm not talking too much out of school, Tony, as a sergeant in the DNR. That's why when I go fishing with Tony, we just run. We don't worry about how many rods we run. We don't worry about what size fish we catch. We don't worry about how many we catch because I got a retired game warden with me. He'll take the fall. Who's gonna write a retired game warden a ticket? I'm kidding, right? Everybody knows I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm mostly kidding. We do smoke some cigars while we're fishing, though, that's for sure. Get it done right live and no need to cut it in editing. Mad Jack. See, Tony, Mad Jack knows Tony, and I don't know who Mad Jack really is. That's his YouTube name. Tony, if you know who he is, let me know privately because I don't know who he really is. He's Mad Jack, and he joins me almost every week on YouTube. Mike Wells will write you a ticket. I don't know. Mike Wells is, hey, I'm just kidding. I would not go on the water. I wouldn't intentionally break a game law ever. Well, unless I'm fishing with Tony. I'm kidding. Kind of. I need to share my Tony next week. If you're ready to talk about it now, I would be more than happy to. Let's do next week. 3, 2, 1, blast off. Tony, I would love to. Ed says, hey, Mike Wells is a good guy. Just because a guy would write a ticket to somebody breaking the law doesn't mean he's not a good guy. Get your Pure Michigan entries, and I was talking about that earlier. You have until 11:59:59, which is just about the time the Michigan game will end on New Year's Eve. Although, is it on Fox, Pat?
No, yes, ABC station.
Okay, so it won't go for 6 hours.
Right.
Okay. All right, my friends, I got to go to work. I know you can't call this work, but I will not be able to interact with you directly as I have been. Have a great day. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine show right here on the Outdoor Magazine Radio Network. So glad to have you along with us. Happy New Year to you. We made it through Christmas. For some of you, it was a nice, calm, relaxing holiday. For others, there was an awful lot going on. Maybe 3 days of parties. Maybe the last party had more than 40 people at it. I don't know who that would be. I've heard. But we made it through Christmas. Hallelujah. Now we're looking at the new year, and Happy New Year to you. I did not get out. I kept telling you I was going to get back out. I was going to get back out and shoot a big doe with my dart and crossbow, and I just never did make it out. And shame on me. That's my fault. Nobody else to blame for it except me. I just got tied up on work-related projects, and I got to be honest with you, I am not so in love with deer hunting that I'm going to put aside my work that I need to get done, although in my case, I could justify it as being work. If it was deer hunting, if it was bear hunting or if it was turkey hunting, boom, I wouldn't give it a second thought. I would be out there every day of the season until I got the job done. Deer hunting, I'm not one of those people who lives, breathes, and dreams deer hunting. And I know there are a lot of people who do. And for those of you who are in that mindset, you are very sad now, right? Because your season is pretty much coming to a close. But hey, only 9 more months and you can get back out there. But because I never did shoot a deer this year, in fact, I haven't shot a deer in probably 10 years, maybe more. I did have several opportunities at big does early in the season, and I passed on them. And why did I pass? I don't know. I honestly don't know. What do they say about hunting? Never pass on something the first day of the season that you would shoot on the last day of the season. I should know that by now. Had several opportunities at big does, and that's what I wanted to take this year. Or a great big buck, but how many of us really have opportunities at those? And I passed on it. And now the only venison in my freezer is from the generosity of my son James, and they took a bunch of deer, and he's very generous. But I got bear in the freezer. So because I didn't shoot a deer this year, one of my goals for 22 is to shoot a deer. Maybe a nice buck down in Ohio with Bill Piles. We are going back down there in October, a week later this year. Hopefully we can avoid the 90-degree weather we had this year. And maybe a nice big doe here in Michigan. Also goals for 22, shoot a Michigan bear. I have not done that yet. I've shot, I was trying to add them up the other day, 13, 14, 15 bears, none of them in Michigan. All of my bears have been in Quebec, Quebec, Ontario, and Manitoba. I've had opportunities at Michigan bears, two of them with Gary Morgan of Wild Game Dynasty. The first one came wandering by my blind at 10 yards, 10 minutes into my first hunt. I had waited 9 years for that hunt. I wasn't going to have it be over in 10 minutes, so I let that bear walk. Spent the better part of the next 2 weeks hunting. Did see another bear towards the end of the season, just a little too far to shoot. That was okay. 2 years ago, hunting with Johnny Bowler in the UP with my recurve. We just couldn't quite pull it off. Finally, and my blind. I mean, because I'm with a recurve, I'm like 10 yards from the bait. You might be able to get away with that in Ontario, but trying to do that in Michigan is a whole different ballgame. I mean, I'm sitting on that bait. There was so little room for error, but we did get one to come in toward the end of the season, but he just didn't give me a shot. Yeah, he would have been a shot with a gun, would have been a shot with a crossbow, but just not quite with a recurve. So I do want to shoot a Michigan bear. Want to shoot another Michigan turkey. Haven't shot a turkey in a couple of years because I have been, again, hunting with a recurve. I've taken a bird with a recurve before, but it is certainly a challenge. Last year, I had 2 or 3 birds I could have shot with a gun or a compound or a crossbow. But this year, since I'm going to be hunting with that dart and crossbow, I do want to shoot a Michigan turkey. As I talked about last week, my goals for 2022, I want to expand my fishing horizons. Doesn't mean I'm going to pick up a fly rod and head to the Asable. It doesn't mean I'm going to surf cast for steelhead in Lake Michigan, although those are wonderful activities. I'm just thinking in my case, I want to take that angler quest into some different parts of Saginaw Bay, into some using some different techniques, some different baits. Get away from my mindset of going out to my skinny water and trolling number 7 flicker shads 35 to 60 feet behind the boards. Just maybe something a little different. And finally, my biggest goal for 2022 is just to spend more time outdoors. And I think that's something all of us could use for a goal. As I've said before, spending more time outdoors does not mean sitting on the patio with a cigar or mowing the lawn. It means getting out in the woods or on the water. Those are my goals for 2022. Did you apply for your Pure Michigan hunt? As you are listening to the show, if not, you have missed your window of opportunity. I had several Pure Michigan applications that I put in. And I'm probably going to win. I'll just tell you that right now. I'm probably going to win the Pure Michigan hunt this year. I have no inside information. It's just a gut feeling, but I had that same gut feeling last year, and I will have that same gut feeling every year. I'm doing a live feed right now. Linda says, does that mean you're going to start chasing walleye with crawlers? Linda, No. That's one horizon I'm not going to expand to. Normally this time of year, I would be excited and getting ready to head down to the ATA show, the Archery Trade Association National Show. I'm not going this year for a couple of reasons. The ATA in the past is where companies used to unveil their new products, their new bows. This year, there's very little new to unveil. The companies have done it online for months now. We really, I mean, what are they going to unveil? Now, some of the smaller companies, some of the blind companies, the broadhead companies, yes. So I don't think there's really that much news that's going to come out of the ATA show. The other reason, and I'll be completely honest with you, is ATA wants to charge me as a media person $600 to walk in the door and promote their show. We used to be able to do that for free. Now, it wasn't a free trip for me because I still had to get down there and pay for the hotel and stuff. So it ended up being a fairly expensive 3-4 days. But I didn't have to pay to get in the door. And they want me to pay $600 to walk into their show to promote their show. I'm not going to do it. Especially when I think the ATA show is no longer viable or sustainable. And it's probably, and I guess it's probably not real smart of me to pick a battle with an industry leader like the ATA, somebody I should be in partnership with. But I'm not going down. I'm not going down this year. And I don't feel like I'm missing much other than the opportunity to get together with people I haven't seen for a while, sit down and shake their hand and shoot the breeze. Big news about our Wednesday night live shows. I do these online every week on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, sometimes on Instagram as well. We like to do them in person in the field whenever possible. COVID has put a big monkey wrench into those plans until now. In 2022, we're going to take the Wednesday Night Lives back on the road 4 times at least this year. We're going to go to the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch, Michigan. The first Wednesday in March, the first Wednesday in June, the first Wednesday in September, and the first Wednesday in December. We'll be doing the shows live from the Lumberjack Restaurant, the Forward Corporation Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. If Chef Dave Miner can get his staffing situation figured out, we will also try to do one back at Oscar and Joey's as well. I love these events. People who have been there with us love them as well. It's a chance to get together, have a good meal, win some prizes. More details on that as they become available. Promo codes. PrimalTreeStands.com, promo code Avery, MichiganBrand.net, promo code Mike21, MUCC.org, promo code Mike, all caps. And as you're listening to this show, if you didn't put into VersaSkins.com and use that promo code, you missed the window of opportunity there. But you can still buy VersaSkins products online, VersaSkins.com. We'll take a break here on the Outdoor Magazine Show. When we come back, we're going to continue on this theme of the ATA show and what it means to the average archer with Dave Thomas of Bowhunter Planet, and Nick Buja of the Michigan Wildlife Council, and much more coming up this week right here on Outdoor Magazine. Hey, Paul Perone of VersaSkins, I saw you in there, but I couldn't directly interact. Now, for the broadcast version, I just said you've missed your window of opportunity. But if you're watching this live stream, you still have time. Go to VersaSkins.com, VersaSkins.com, and use the promo code. What was it, Paul? Promo code. I don't remember if it's Mike21 or if it's Avery. But go to VersaSkins.com right now and use the promo code and save on everything on the website, but you only have until 11:59:59 on Friday night. And I'll Avery 20. Thank you, Paul. Go to VersaSkins.com, use the promo code Avery 20 and get big, deep discounts on everything on that website. VersaSkins, just change the skin for the season you're in. Love VersaSkins, family-owned, Michigan-based company, faith-based company, even better. Versaskins.com, promo code Avery20. All right, my friends, I'm going to close these live feeds and go to work on the broadcast version of the show. Have a good day, and I'll see you tonight, 7 o'clock, for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. No good, Pat? No love?